What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Menace. This is a game we had a chance to take a look at a demo for about 6 months ago, and this is the newest release from Overhype, the studio that made Battle Brothers. I personally think that Battle Brothers is one of the finest sandbox RPGs ever made. I think it's actually one of the greatest of all time, and I'm happy to say that having now spent about 15 hours with Menace over the course of the weekend, I think they've got a really solid foundation to build on going forward. This game is quite a bit different from Battle Brothers. I think the difficulty curve is quite a bit less severe. It's also one of those games that's easier to learn, but at the same time it manages to mash together something like new XCOM with a larger scale war game with a little bit of Warhammer 40k inside of there. I think the game is pretty sick, so we're going to dive in today, play the game for about 30 minutes, and we're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you would rather pass on. If after watching this you wanted to get the early access for yourself, you're in luck because it's coming out very shortly. I'll put the link down below, and then of course on top of that you'll find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links, just in case you wanted to give them a love and touch and squeeze. But let's dive on in. I'm going to load my save, and hopefully along the way I'll give you some of my first thoughts about this game, maybe some tutorial tips, because I think there's definitely things in this game you need to know if you want to be successful. It can be brutally difficult at times, but only if you fail to listen to the cues that the game is telling you. But let's go ahead and get after it. So in the game called Menace, who are we? Well, we're kind of like a corps of mercenary marines that are in a place called the Wayback. It's kind of like the fringes of civilized space. The planets around here, they're not really crazy developed. They don't have enough money to have their own armies or anything else like that. And so mercenaries like us become necessary in order to secure the peace and guarantee that there's a police force and stop pirates from rampaging around. And we are exactly one of those forces, and I'll introduce you to everybody here. Right now I've got 5 squads inside my PMC. I've got Jane Darby. She's going to be our resident marksman. So that's going to be our DMR wielding maniac that snipes people from out of the woods. We've got Sergeant Charles Lim, who's new to the Marine Corps, but he's very enthusiastic. We've got Edwin Pike, who's kind of the grizzled old sergeant that's seen it all, done it all, and doesn't have a lot of growth potential, but he inspires the rest. We've got Tech over here. Tech is going to be our heavy. This is the guy that's hitting them hard and leaving them in fragments. And then we've got Ivory Ism, who is going to be our resident pilot. That's right, in this game you get to have vehicles, and in fact I've seen a number of them, everything from tanks to mech walkers to APCs, you name it. If you've got the point values and the drop weight a la something like Battletech, you'll be able to drop in vehicles to support your core as you go on through. You've got a number of things you can do inside of here. You can build out your ship that you fly around the system in, but for now, let's take a mission. I think I've only got one lined up right now to go fight with bugs. At the moment, I think there's 3 or 4 factions inside the game. There's Rogue Army, there's Pirates, there's Bugs, and then there's the Menace. I haven't fought the Menace yet, playing the game for 15 hours. I had a 10-hour campaign that I played around with, but I ended up torpedoing it through bad decisions, and I wanted to start over with all the knowledge that I had. This playthrough's about 3 hours in right now, and I'm doing much, much better because I learned a lot in that first playthrough. But let's start the operation. Local wildlife has grown into a serious infestation. Head down to the planet and smoke them out, but be warned, biosensors show large swarms roaming the surface. This game is very heavily Starship Troopers influenced. You can hear it in the music and the way that the game keeps its tempo when you're inside of a mission, and so that's another thing that I really like about it. But in this first mission, it looks like we've got ourselves a choice of what we want to do. Each of these operations is going to function almost like a roguelite run, where each of these missions that you take, they're going to stack up bonuses that you get for the rest of the campaign, and ultimately determine what you get paid and what you get out of this campaign should you succeed at getting it done. Our first mission right here is a reclaim settlement, so we've just got to get inside of here. We got to capture a location. Our reward is going to be eating on the wing. Reduce infantry supply unit costs by 15% for the operation. Okay, so that makes all of our units cheaper to deploy, or we can rescue some settlers over here, which will give us a supply crate, which we can sell on the black market in order to get new guns, new equipment, new secondaries, new vehicles, new armor, all that kind of stuff. I think I'll probably go with rescuing the settlers. I don't know if I'll be able to complete it because sometimes they start you really far back from the objective that you're trying to protect. I do recommend that they rebalance these missions so that you start out in the city with the civilians protecting them. But anyways, this can be a little up in the air because the civilians do a lot of dumb stuff and we're probably about 5 turns out when we drop before we can get to them and protect them. So I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but let's go ahead and plan the mission. For right now, it looks like we have We do not have the supply cost to drop everybody in. We could probably get rid of some secondaries. Yeah, I'll drop some secondaries, that way I can bring my vehicle with me because I think she's going to be pretty helpful on this mission. Now, intel. Depending on the intel rating of your ship, it's going to fill in these little clouds over here and let you know what these clouds are. They may be civilians, they may be enemies. Right now, I've only got one intel on my ship, I've only got one radar dish, so I can only suss out a little bit of what the enemy is going to be doing. But my guess would be the aliens are going to come in from this way, and they're going to come in from this way. That's going to flush these guys this way, and it's going to flush these guys back. I think our best play is going to be to deploy right in the middle and just hard charge up the middle. And since we're up against bugs, they don't really have a ton of ranged attacks unless they have bombardiers with them. But if they have bombardiers with them, this is going to go really, really poorly just straight off the rip. But we'll start center right here, we'll charge up the middle, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing done. Let's run it. Okay. So taking a look at the battlefield, we need to get moving, like, quickly. So I'm going to send the vehicle out front just to protect the civilians, and we're going to, like, strong move straight out of the gate because in this game, a lot of the time, you are going to be really operating under the gun when it comes to the time frame that you need to get things done inside of. And so the faster we move on this one, I'd play more cautiously if the objective wasn't so critical to protect the civilians. But the aliens are going to get a lot of turns to just blast our civilians if I don't. And so let's push forward. It sounds like they're already on top of civilians right now, so we need to get in here and we need to make this thing happen. One thing I do not like about this game is that a lot of the missions force you to move for like 4 rounds before you actually make contact with the enemy. Sometimes I wish that they just started you out maybe like 1 turn away from the enemy so that you could get to the action a little bit faster. It does, having you start that far out does give you a lot more of tactical movement options in deciding, as I suspected. The civilians are getting flushed into this corridor. So let's get in here and we'll set up a cordon. But it does give you a lot more tactical options when it comes to how you want to wheel and move around the enemy. But at the same time, it does mean that the beginning portion of games can be very, very slow from time to time. Let's open fire over here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get any of those bugs, but I do think it's a really good idea for us to put at least a little bit of scow on them, just to scare them back from the civvies. The way that this game works is with an AP system just like old XCOM. Every single unit has a number of AP that are dictated by their stats. Their stats do level up as you go into missions. They are limited by a stat called growth potential. So the older the person is in the Marine Corps, the less they learn while they're out on missions and the less they develop. Younger characters tend to develop faster, but they start out with lower skills. You see what I'm saying right there? But at the moment, we don't really have a ton that we can do to bust back at the enemy. I'm going to move her over to this side. Those civvies should not be running that way. Don't run that way. The bugs are in that way, man. What are you guys, like, suicidal? Oh my god. Okay, well, let's move the vehicle up over here. We'll save a little bit of AP for firing. We didn't really score a whole lot of kills right there, unfortunately, but it's okay. The bugs are in cover right now, so that's going to give them a little bit of a benefit. They're also working with camo and concealment, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. We do have a big pack of bugs over here. All of our characters are going to have different weapons. These weapons have different ranges. You see this graph at the bottom of the screen right next to my cursor? You're going to want to memorize that graph for every single weapon inside your squad because it is hugely consequential. My first run through this game, I was having a terrible time trying to figure out the hit chances, and that's because this game does something very unique where the weapon that your squad has equipped has very hard ranges that it operates at. So you can see here that this gun is good from maybe 4 tiles out to about 8 tiles, but it drops off as you get further on there. This is a hard constraint that you're going to have to learn inside of this game, and if you ignore it, you will regret it. I'm going to move him into cover over here. We're going to bust some shots at these bugs. Now, on this bug right here, you can see 2 different bars. The gray's going to be his armor, the red's going to be his health. We can't really get after his health until we get through the armor. Different guns have different values for penetration and also for armor damage. Armor stripping and armor penetration are 2 completely different stats in this game, and unfortunately his gun does neither for us in this case. Let's bypass the turn, see what the bugs do. Well, the bugs didn't do much, so they must have done something off-screen. This squad right here is equipped with DMRs, which means they function best at range. I'm going to try to scooch him over to here, but he still can't squeeze the shot. What about from right there? Medium accuracy with no penetration, but a little bit of suppression. Okay, well, just put whatever damage you can on him for right now, because we need to get that armor all nice and taken care of. Civilians are flushing backwards. It looks like they're falling back, maybe to hunt some other human beings and hunt down flesh elsewhere. As long as it means they're not up inside my booty cheeks, I'm fine with it. Let's move these guys over to here, and we can actually blind fire locations where we suspect the enemy might be. You want to be sort of careful about it, though, because all of your guns in this game have limited ammunition, and if you run out, you're just out. You just don't have any more ammo, and that squad is basically useless, but I'll try and fire a couple shots right there. You'll get the telltale sign that sometimes blood splats will go. I don't think they're still over there. What did he see? Well, I don't know what he saw. It must have been something that peeked in and peeked out. The AI does play... Oh, there they are right there. We got little flappy bugs over here that are going to be causing problems for us. Luckily, these guys are kind of out of range and in cover, so they should be all right. Let's push one unit over to here just to get line of sight on some of these question marks, and we'll see what the enemy decides to do. So civilians, yeah, just keep kind of scattering and staying out of the way. That's probably going to be best for your longevity. We'll move you up to there. Let's put a little bit of gunfire on these guys. Okay, they've been disabled. One thing you need to know is that in a limited ammo situation, you don't need to kill all the enemy op-4s in this game. Once they go into fleeing mode, where you break their morale and they're sufficiently suppressed and they've lost the vast majority of their forces, you can just let them leave. They disappear off the map in a couple of turns, and you don't need to shoot at them anymore. I haven't noticed in my 15 hours that it reduces the amount of loot you get at the end of combat. It seems like you kind of get the same amount of loot no matter what for disabled enemy units, and so don't waste ammo on enemies that are already fleeing if you think ammo's already going to be tight on a long operation. I'm going to push this squad up and over here because we got a big pack of civilians up here, and I just like to have somebody eyes on to protect them. I think all the civilians in this part of town actually flushed out, so I think we may be in a good position just to move our guys over to here and just kind of hold the line right here. We've got an enemy right there. Medium accuracy, full armor penetration, hell yeah. It depends. Do I want to get him with the MG, though? I don't know if I want to get him with the MG or not. The MG has better armor penetration, but we'll only get to fire it once. Let's kind of see how this goes. Yeah, let's go ahead and deploy, and we'll break out the MG right here. That was definitely a lot more effective. And so we put a couple holes in a couple bugs because you know the montage. You know the old phrase, the only good bug is a dead bug. So let's wipe these bastards out. She should be in her optimal range right here. Yeah, so she's right inside her perfect range window. So we dropped that one outright, already taken care of. We've got 4 more squads out here that we've got to hunt down. Most of them are going to be on the right side, would be my estimate. And because the AI is kind of devious, I've got a feeling they're going to try to sweep up and around that way to try to get in there. Or they might just hold in the city square. I don't know. The AI in this game generally plays pretty well. In fact, I've even seen the AI deploy like cornball tactics where they'll dance in and out of your line of sight to take one shot so that you can't return fire. They do all kinds of stuff like that that can actually be quite irritating, but in like a challenging way. It's not like an irritating I'm mad at the game thing. It's irritating like, oh, that's clever and I hate it. Let's move this squad to the right. We don't have any cover right now. These guys are kind of isolated to the south as well. Let's undeploy, and I need to get them moving this way, full rattle, to group up with everybody else. Okay, so we do have hostile Xenos over here. They should be easy to take out, though. Yeah, that's just the little bugs right there. They're kind of like the Zerglings, so they shouldn't be too hard to knock a couple chunks out of. There we go. Leave them bloody, Pike. Let them have it. Good stuff. That's another squad down. Let's move him forward. I'm going to be a little aggressive right here in my defense. Oh, we got a big bug. Okay. So with this big bug right here, he has like a plasma cannon thing that he's going to shoot at us that comes out of his, I don't know if it's his face or his anus or what. But either way, we don't want to get hit by that plasma cannon. I don't have anybody nearby to support right now, which is not great. He already took his turn, though. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to squeeze off a shot right there. We're going to fall back to deny him range. We've got armored bugs. Those are melee right there, so those are going to try to get up close to us and tear our faces off. So much fun being in the Intergalactic Marine Corps, man. Join the army. It'll be fun, they said. The bugs aren't that big or terrifying. I could just launch something over here. I don't think she's going to hit, but yeah. Like, I didn't think that was going to hit, but, you know, do something, you know what I mean? It's never a good look when everybody else in the platoon is fighting and you're not firing your weapon, you know? It's just, it's not a good look. Well, what are you guys doing right here? You can fire through your own units in this game, but you will notice that if you do it too much, their suppression level will go up, so be careful about it. Don't get too aggressive. Otherwise, you'll catch them with friendly fire, and then they get a debuff for like 4 or 5 missions. They get really cranky about it. Honestly, they act like big giant babies. I need you guys to fire a shot and fall back. Hey, we're starting to get through the armor now. Good. Okay, now fall back. We want to draw them into our machine gun fire if we can help it. Oh, Rapid Rob is now dead Rob. Rob no longer is in this mortal coil. Have no fear, though. I have a medbay that revives my first squatty that dies. I don't think it's going to buff out. He's looking like he's more gore than human being right now. Look, that crater is what Rob used to be. Oh, well, poor Rob. Just lay it on him. I mean, you'll hit him eventually. Those bullets are real big and they hurt a lot, so even if you only land like 1 or 2 in the burst, it's still going to knock a chunk out of them. And we're kind of like on the final pack of enemies right now anyways. You guys move up into cover. You guys also move up. You may take some fire here, but that's okay. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make with your blood. Move the vehicle up to right there, although might get flanked on that side. Yeah, it did get flanked. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for us, the bug was really terrible at aiming, so we managed to get away with it. Let's move it to light cover, and we've got a number of enemies over here. They have little icons on them, dude. We got problems out here. But I have a problem solver. Rocket strafe? Rocket strafe. Let's do it. Oh, they left my strafe range. I hate it. Okay, those are fleeing. We don't need to waste any more ammo on them. It's okay. The bomb probably flushed them back. You get into better cover right there.
Let's do this.
You get into cover right there. Fire down the way. Wasn't as effective as I was hoping it would be. You guys dig in real fast for the defensive bonus. Finish them off real quick and just stay where you're at. Hey, the building took the damage for us, but he's running now. He doesn't want none of this. It's afraid! Well, there goes that secondary objective. You've got a number of different secondary objectives. They affect how much XP you get at the end of the mission. I wouldn't pay it. So if it's going to make you fail the main objective, completely ignore the side objectives. That's my advice to you, because oftentimes some of these side objectives are going to really put your strategy at risk in order to go out and get them. And so I usually only focus on the secondaries if I feel like I'm having a really good mission anyways and things are going super smoothly. Keep advancing on these guys. We don't have a choice. They're making us chase them, so... Oh, sneaky little bastard. Okay. Get him back there. Dig in.
Let's do this.
You guys... Oh, they're dug in. You guys move up to here. And now, I need a turn where I actually advance on these dudes and, like, take care of business. Keep firing on the big bug. Get him. Yeah, dude.
They're scattering.
Okay, so he's scattered now. You can put fire on them, too, so we might as well... Just for whatever damage we can get in there. I just have to mention that Tech is my favorite character in the entire game. He has a special ability that allows him to fire like an M60 from the hip without deploying it on a bipod. It is factually the best. He's basically Coltrane from Gears of War. So if you love Coltrane from Gears of War, you're going to love Tech, because they're essentially the same character. They have like the same kind of play style and abilities. I'm going to swing out wide over here. Should I chase them down? I don't know if it's smart to chase them down. They are really kiting us right now. He's leaving the operational area, so I'm not too worried about him. Let's get every Marine up against a wall over here. You come over to this side and help pin them down. Move over to there. Do what you can. They're going to take return fire. Oh, really? Interesting. They did not do the thing that I thought they were going to do. All right. Another enemy column down. Thank you for your input, Tech. I appreciate the commentary that you've got running right now. We need to chase these guys down, though. Oh, it was a trap. Okay. All right. All right. All right. What am I going to do about this trap? I'm going to wheel them over there. Bring them all down the hallway. Oh, never mind. We're like out of here. We can just leave right now. Okay, well, 80% of the enemy forces have been destroyed, so like, let's get out of here. Mission accomplished. So we got civilian supplies, and then we got a ton of loot off the bugs. This is one of the reasons why I like to fight the bugs, is they drop a lot of stuff, and then you get to spend lots of money and get cool things that go boom, boom, bang. We are going to get an after-action report. We only lost one guy, Rapid Bob, but I have a medical bay on my ship that revives the first person that dies, so we're good on that front, and now we're back out in the campaign menu. So really, what we need to do right now, one piece of advice I would give you if you're a new prospective buyer of this game, is that for whatever reason, when you first start out your campaign, your squads are not full. You see these green pips down here? I did want to bring this up in the video. You start out with a half-full squad in every squad. This button right here, this is how you add more squaddies to your squads so that they have more attack power and more killing power. Don't just like rattle into your first mission without doing that. You can win it. I won without doing it. That's why I'm pointing this out to you, but make sure you adjust the size of your squad. It may have consequences if you don't. For now though, let's go into another mission because I actually need to see what the mission point value is going to be before I decide what I want to buy and what I want to do, because chances are I may not even be able to bring it with me in this case. I think contained migration is doable and we get more loot from that, so I'll probably do that. It looks like it's going to give us the exact same point values as the last time we ran through here, so I can't really adjust anything or bring any extra weapons with me, unfortunately. It's fine though, let's run it. So we've got alien contacts, and in this mission, we have to hold this perimeter. So I'm going to kind of like spread my guys out because the AI in this game is smart enough that if you fully deploy to one side, they will all reroute for a couple turns, come around this way, based on the intel that they have, and they'll flank around to the side. These missions right here can be a little cornbally for the AI too, because if they end their turn inside the zone, you lose points. So what they like to do is they like to hide in concealment, and then they will all simultaneously end inside the zone to knock a fat chunk out of your control. They do a lot of smart stuff like that that you really got to watch for. Okay, so we're just going to hang tight. All of my machine gunner units, though. Where's my machine gunner unit at? He's over here in the city. He's going to be blocked off from line of sight right there, so let's deploy him real quick so he's ready with the MG. And then everybody else, we're just going to pass turns until the enemy gets here because this is a defense mission. All right, we got big bad bugs on the grid. It only took like 2 rounds, so it should be all right. Let's unload on them. Wow, you missed everything on that one. Little upsetty biscotti with you right now. You had one job. He's got medium accuracy for right there, but these guys are pretty armored up, so this may not be a great situation. Fall back. You guys may have to help over here. Let's pull over to this side. Drop a couple more rounds on that armored unit right there. Still didn't get through the armor, so like we're gonna have to whittle away at it. You guys are just gonna have to pray. That's pretty much all that we got going on over here. You guys are overrun. Okay, so we broke their morale first. Unfortunately, their morale is not breaking right now, so that's real bad. We got things we need to pay attention to at the moment.
Let's do this.
He's got no shot, so I need him over here. There we go. They're now broken, so we should be safe on that end. We got more coming in, though. I need you to shred this dude, please. Keep shredding. There we go. Little bit of damage off. That armor finally failed on him. Hell yeah. We lost T-Money, unfortunately. T-Money is now T-Dunny. We need to figure out cover here. One thing this game does is that, like, the procedural map generation very frequently gives you no cover. It's a thing that I've noticed over and over again, is that a lot of the maps don't really have a lot of cover. You may be wondering why I'm just standing out in the open. Well, I kind of have to, because all of our cover is too far back for us to have effective range of fire on the enemy. And so, like, I kind of have to be out here right now, in my general experience. Come on. Fall back that way. Hey, we're getting damage off. Okay, so that side's been shored up. You move that way to get ready for them. Over here, these are both fleeing, right? So that means we can break out the MG on these guys, medium accuracy and low accuracy. Hey, that'll do it. Finish them off. Good stuff, Marine. That's what I'm talking about. They're almost on top of us. But I think I should be able to just, like, fracture them in one turn. He doesn't have line of sight on these dudes, unfortunately. I need to get this squad up to this, like, HESCO line over here. This concrete wall is where I need him to be. But we keep having threats that we have to react to, unfortunately.
Up for it. Yo, bugs.
We've got movement.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right now.
There's a lot of them coming.
We got bugs.
Guardsmen here.
Okay, so how do we want to do this? Medium accuracy with high penetration? Yeah, give it to him.
How about it?
If you can waver him, that would be good. Missed his shot, so that's going to help us out a little bit. Can you hit him from there? You can? All right, get him.
We're good.
Unfortunate. Move that way. Woo!
Sir.
Don't you just love it when you feel it whistle by? Okay, so I think they're going to make it into the zone right here, and there's not going to be a whole lot that I can do about it. There's a lot of bugs out here that need to be dealt with.
Engaged.
Yeah, just keep pouring fire on that guy. And then maybe scooch back that way. Took a little bit of damage right there, but I don't think we're going to lose anybody because we're wearing infantry armor right now. For you, good accuracy there. So just keep doing what it do over here. I need heavier armor penetration for these dudes. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Things are going really fantastically well on the right side of the field. On the left side of the field, it's a little bit of mayhem right now. You help out over here. Okay, that one's fleeing. Put a little something something on them. Good stuff. They're now fleeing as well. Keep inching your way forward. Come on, 103rd, hang in there. I believe in you. Extra crayons for everybody that scores a kill. What are they going to do now? They're just going to keep coming at us.
Guardsmen.
All right, this is manageable. Like, we can make something happen here. I need this vehicle to get the hell out of here. We have a number of unfortunate problems right now that I'm not sure. So, like, I can move this vehicle out of the way and potentially save it because fixing vehicles is really kind of a pain in the ass in this game. I can move her out of the way, but that means he might potentially move this guy and eat this squad. He's got me in kind of like a checkmate position right now. Let's just unload on him. Okay, that's one down. Hey, that's two down. That's about as well as that could have possibly gone. I'll take it. You scooch over here. Not really a lot of effective fire on the flyers right there, unfortunately.
Sir.
You help that squad out because they're inside your optimal range. All right, you wipe the squad in one shot. Good stuff. Finish him off. Or not. Or just, you know, fire at him and miss a lot. That's fine, too. I'm cool with it. I think we should be solid on the right side, but I'm kind of afraid to undeploy that guy. I know that the second I do, they're going to pull some runaround bullshit on me.
Let's do this.
Let's flush this unit left. Oh, they actually got their morale back. Okay. Well, I mean, it took the pressure off, but I wish that I had not moved now. All right.
Keep pouring it on.
Flyers are down.
You and I are all about it. Now do it again.
Hey, yo, we good.
I definitely need them to be fleeing.
Sir.
That one's coming back in.
It's open.
She's at too close a range right now. support on them. That triggered that one to flee. Machine gun those ones right there. They're wavering, but they're not done yet. Okay, I can live with that. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? So that one right there is a threat. Yeah, I need to keep him routing. I've actually never seen him get their morale back. That happened for me in 15 hours of play. I've never seen them leave while fleeing and then come back. Interesting. I thought they always left the AO after they got fleeing. They just despawned. Like you saw one of the big bugs do it earlier where he despawned right in front of us behind this building. That's what I like about this game, though. I learn something every hour that I play it. Like, it's not a game where you can just ignore the different stimuli that the game's giving you. You do have to pay attention to it. She does have effective fire right there with her DMR. Let's get him. Good stuff. We got another fresh pack right there. Another fresh pack right there. I need to do an ammo check is what I really need to do. I don't know what our ammo is looking like right now. Get the flyers for me. Thank you. Light them up a little bit. Break their morale before they get to the objective. Ammo's looking somewhat okay. Like, I think ammo is fine for now. Good stuff. Stay deployed. Finish that squad off just in case they rally. I don't want them to rally that close to my lines.
Let's do this.
Hey. Hey. What are those little turds back there doing? I saw you. I saw you. You ain't sneaky. They rallied and then they ran back into my territory. Damn, dude. Little buggy turds. Let's get back over here. That way we can fight. Or maybe put something. I think that rock's going to block my shot over here. We can try, though. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Perfect. Just get him out of that area. Man, I almost had the 90% objective, too. I almost had it.
Eyes open.
Yeah. Good stuff. Drop them, pop them, and leave them bleeding. You just continue to hold. Do I have anybody else that's... Nope. Lim was the last one. All right. You get back over there. Hold that barrier. Okay. They're broken. Finish them off. We're on our last turn anyways right now. So, like, this is as long as we needed to hold for the Planetary Defense Forces. Good stuff. Keep pouring it on, dude. Hell yeah. Wipe that squad. Get them up out of here. Leave them in fragments. Stack them up like firewood. That's how you kill bugs, Marine. The Xenos must be purged. Yeah, I was going to say, please break their formation. If you don't break their formation on that shot, this is going to get complicated. All right, we're out of here. Let's evac. We got alien eggies. Yay. Make yourself a hell of an omelet, dude. Maybe like Colorado omelet it up. Get some ham, some bacon, maybe a little bit of salsa in there. Get yourself some guac. And T-Money is back on the case, so T-Money is no longer T-Bloody. Your characters, they do get perks and stuff depending on how they perform during runs. They will give them very, very large boosts to like their morale, their chance to run away, their chance to hide, their chance to hit, all that kind of stuff. And that leaves us with just hunting the Hive Queen. I have never done this objective before. Save! So if it's heavily armored, I may have to change my strategy around here a little bit. So I can drop her off the battle force, and I can give all of my guys stuff that works versus armor a little bit better. So like rotary cannons, grenade launchers, bombs, explosives. But we may want to hit the black market, and we may want to buy something special for this objective. Is there like an anti-material rifle or anything on sale? We do have a rocket launcher that we could strap onto our vehicle, a VMAT armor-piercing rocket. That might be helpful. Yeah, I think we are where we are, but I think we're going to have to hit this without a vehicle. We're going to have to drop a squad, I think. Just because I don't feel like her machine gun is actually that helpful. She's so inaccurate with it, you know what I mean? I got to level her up a little bit. Like, she's by far the lowest level in my squad. She's kind of like a newcomer, and so I haven't had a chance to dump a bunch of XP into her yet, which is why everybody else is so much more effective than she is. I think I will buy an ammo pack real fast, because that's the one thing Lim doesn't have. We do have, like, an AT launcher over here. It says for dedicated anti-armor systems. Might be helpful. Yeah, throw that into the pile. You never know when you're going to need a rocket launcher, man. There we go. Everybody needs a rocket launcher. Instead of the grenade launcher, you bring the disposable 8. There we go. Okay, so she can have the grenade. I thought that was going to be a secondary weapon. All right, that's fine. And then I'll give Lim his ammo pack. That way he's got the same amount of ammo as everybody else in the squad, and I think we're good. Send it. Okay, I've never done this objective before. It never came up in the 15 hours that I played, and so we're going to have to play this one by ear and hope for the best. I'm going to play it kind of slow. I'm not going to try to push up and win by 12 rounds. I'm just going to kind of wait it out and see what happens here. Destroy an alien nest. I do have my rockets as well. If I could time those right, we may be able to bomb out the alien queen with rockets too. Okay, fall back slightly. Kind of move up nice and careful. We're going to play this like we're playing XCOM on very high difficulty. Just like 5-foot steps until we know what we're dealing with. Open fire. Good opening shot against an armored enemy. I'll take that. And it drew him in, so he should be alright. He is in cover right now, which is a little bit inconvenient, but we should be able to shatter his morale right here. There we go. Got him. Bug boy's down.
Let's do this.
You move up to that cover. And actually, if I can draw the enemy out and fight around these rocks, I'd be a lot happier. I'm hoping they heard the ruckus and the gunfire, and they're going to push up on me. That's my hope, but I'm not going to hope too hard on it. My hope is built on nothing less than killing bugs and burning nests. Well, I got bad news. I passed a couple rounds, and they are not advancing on us, so I think we're going to have to take a little bit of initiative here and see if we can throw down with the enemy. Get back behind those rocks right there, because those are going to try to shoot at you. You guys get behind those rocks. You guys start moving up. Oh, we got nests over here too, huh?
Oscar Mike.
All right, we'll figure it out in a second. Let's take care of the major objective first, which is the queen, because I have no idea what I'm walking into with the queen. Yep, that's a heavy. Can you mining laser it? I mean, yeah, dude. Okay, that worked. Deploy. Mag dumper.
It's confirmed.
Mag dumper again. I mean, her HP is going down. She's terrifyingly close to us right now. I don't love what's happening. I wish there was a way to make these more opaque. Like, I looked through the options, and the little health bars, I want them to be as opaque as... I want them to be opaque all the time, basically. Like, when they're faded out like that, it's really hard to tell, without looking to the bottom right, how much armor she's got left. I'm really conflicted about whether I stand my ground here, or whether I run. We do have the AT rocket. We could potentially fire that at it. Yeah, let's do it. It worked! I mean, look at that health bar! That health bar got absolutely dookied on right there. It didn't really do much to the armor, but, like, it worked. I love the fact that the game actually makes you reclack out, though. Like, if you know you're fighting against infantry, you bring lots of grenades, you bring lots of grenade launchers, you bring lots of smoke, you bring lots of other stuff. But when you're fighting bugs and they tell you they got a lot of armor on them, that's when you actually got to go back and, like, re-customize everybody. Too many games let you get comfortable and run the same loadout in every single mission, and I like the fact that this game does not let you do that. I want to try out this minigun. Let's do it. Oh! Okay. Yup. Absolutely shitted it on. Although, if I'm being honest with you, I feel like the mining laser, and I feel like the AT rocket really did a lot of the heavy lifting on that kill.
Hey, yo, bugs!
You guys are going to have to stand up, and let's get you back behind cover. Just put a little bit of something on him. Not bad. I'll take that. I mean, you stripped off like half the armor. That's good. What about you? You want to do that for me? Oh, why can't I do that? Why? I want to shoot him with the minigun. I don't have line of sight. I'm just going to pass and hope that he comes over here because I want to use the minigun again. I'm very excited about minigun deployments. We got little baby bugs over here. Little baby bugs running up inside my territory. What you doing on over there, little baby bug? You looking to get shot in the face? Because I tell you what, Space Uncle Sam's ready to give it to you.
We good?
Little old baby bug getting your face shot off right there. That's what happens when you walk up on another man's property right there. Eat this minigun, bitch. Woo! No! Hurricane! He was my brother! Alright, deploy. Machine gun this idiot as much as you possibly can. Thank you. I appreciate your dedication to the machine gunning arts. Do I even really need to be fighting these guys right now? Technically, I can leave, right? I think that's sort of where we're at, is that I can just, like, bail. Can I bomb? Yeah, just bomb that right there with missiles. And then let's start, like, making our way towards the evac point. That feels like what a smart person would do. And I like doing the things that smart people do. Those always feel to me like worthwhile ventures. I mean, I did not do a smart person thing moving up to there, but I thought that he would break its morale on that turn. It did not happen. We're out of ammo for the medium MG, but like it's fine. We're not gonna need it much longer, anyways. All right, everybody, start working on your forward movement here. Let's get chugging. So like, was our Rocketeer drunk today? Like, what happened right there? Like, you missed. Now I gotta come over here like an idiot, and I gotta shoot it with guns like I'm employed or something. Come on. Oh, hey, what's up, Bugs? How you doing? We've got bugs. What every indie developer says after they release their first demo. We've got bugs. Let's get up here. Not the best grouping I've ever seen you conjure, Tech, but, you know, keep working on it. Get out of the way. I want to walk there. I know I said you shouldn't waste ammo on enemies that are fleeing, but I want to walk on that tile. I want to, yeah, see right there. That's what the whole thing was for. That's why we're in this war. So that we can walk on sand whenever we want.
Hey, yo, bugs! Listen up. We're moving.
Unfortunate. For them.
Op 4 moving.
Man, there's a lot of you guys up here. Why don't you guys, like, defend your queen? Like, you could have defended your queen. If all of you guys had been grouped up around here, it would have been kind of like a chaotic fight. Instead, you let me just commit regicide right in front of you. Maybe they don't like the queen that much. I don't know. Maybe she just raised taxes or something. I don't know.
Bumping. Hey, we got bugs!
Yes, we do. Just shoot him. We don't need to get creative with our solutions out here. There you go. What is a dope? I've never heard that before in a military context. Like, I've heard, like, chalk and all those things they say in, like, Division, but I've never heard, like, the dope is clear. What does that mean? Some of you combat guys that are in my audience, when you guys were out doing Rambo shit, what does the dope is clear mean? There's the last pack of bugs. I was kind of, like, poking around the map, seeing if I could find them. No, they returned fire, but our armor soaked it, so that's good. Get him. There we go. I just wanted to do the secondary objective real fast. Huh. I'm being shot at again. Who would have ever known that when I joined the Corps, I would get shot at? Of all the things, I never suspected that the most. Let's move over to here. No, we're good. You want to know what the #1 killer of Marines is in this game? Chain link fences, man. These chain link fences are everywhere on the procedural map generation, and they're always in like logical spots, but unless you have a vehicle that can like crushionate them, they really can force you sometimes to pass through some really bad areas. And I guess nobody in the Marine Corps ever thought of just bringing some wire cutters. I don't know.
Let's get it.
Yeah, everybody get in here. We're already done with the mission, so let's get the hell out of here, dude. I'm not trying to kill bugs all the live long day, you know. I'm on salary. Not a bad run. I'll take that. So at the end of your campaign, you are going to get reputation with one of the 3 factions that's inside this system. You've got like the industrial royalty. The 3 factions are the Italian mob, the space industrial royalty, and then there's like a Weyland-Yutani company that's definitely up to something sketchy. And when you level up with them, you get stuff. A swarm airburst launcher. That seems really, really rad. We also have the soft peepee, okay? So basically, we've got a vehicle weapon that we could throw onto a vehicle that looks like it has 6 uses per mission. We've got ourselves an upgraded version of a SMG. I would like it if you guys could you give it like a different background or a different border if it's a special weapon? So in this game, you will have guns of a similar model, but there are also upgraded versions of the guns that will have like hollow sights and stuff on them. But every now and again, it can be kind of hard to see from the portrait whether or not it's an upgraded version or not. I think that having like a star up here, having the background be blue or something else like that would really help with visually identifying it. And then we've got ourselves a target designator. This is actually a talent that you can learn on one of your characters. It gives them a built-in target designator. But the target designator is good. It increases your chance to hit against an enemy by 20%, and our vehicle has been really struggling with accuracy. I'll probably take the rocket launcher.
Marine. Secretary.
Field Marshal Zama.
I have a delicate matter that needs attending to. Some of my men, and a few of their ride-or-die wenches, have decided that my leadership is shilly-shallying? Is that the term? Well, by no means would I ever consider myself the reticent sort, but it would not be the way back without some sudden deviation into debauchery. A rogue element has broken off from the planetary Jingwei. I would handle this matter myself, but I am sure you can imagine how an outright civil war between us guardsmen might look. Rather unbecoming in front of the rest of the way back. Please, whenever these rogues sliver across your transom, destroy them post-haste. As compensation, you can take any of the equipment found or recovered. And seeing as how our equipment is so vastly superior to yours, consider this an opportunity to seriously upgrade that pauper's closet you call a wardrobe. Marine. End of line.
While I do not endorse the strategy of directly helping the Field Marshal, sage analysis shows that the mere act of killing guardsmen would be generally popular with all the way-back factions. Winning hearts and minds by doing what we do best is an outstanding pro-TCR propaganda opportunity, Major.
There is storyline in this game. Things will unfold inside the galaxy as you're playing on through. I don't know how far it goes because I wiped like a couple missions into like the main storyline thing that they've got going on, and I had to restart the game. But anyways, there is like a narrative inside of here as well. But after you get out of a mission, you've got a lot of things, so we get a lot of rewards. Over here on the left-hand side, we've got promotion points. That's exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to level up your squaddies. We've got authority. That's going to be a currency that you use for randomized events, Battle Brothers style, in order to like bully people or get what you want. And also, if it gets down to too low of levels, you'll start getting negative events where like your squads get into fist fights with each other in the canteen, stuff like that. We've also got OCI components. That's going to allow us to build new ship parts. That way we've got more support equipment and more intel and more med bays and stuff like that, just in case that's the sort of thing that you want. And then we've got squaddies over here, which every single time one of our little guys gets murdered, they just get replaced from the squaddie pool. So let's handle our customization here. I think what I'd like to do is we need to go to the black market, and I'd like to pick up another squad while we're here. So let's drop 2 of those on in there. And we've got Sachin Singh. Okay, is he good? What does he do? He's got strength in numbers. So he has, for every squaddie over 5, he gets extra accuracy. That's good because his accuracy is kind of terrible. So he gets like an extra 16 accuracy if he's in a full squad. It looks like he focuses on heavy weapons and suppression. So that might work out. I mean, I can hire him. It's going to cost me 30 authority to do it. But having an extra squad, not a terrible idea. All right, we'll populate his squad real fast, and that is going to hit our squaddies pretty hard right there. So we may have to buy some more squaddies on a promotional campaign from the way back as well. Oh, we've got metal armor inside of there, like actual official infantry armor. Yeah, I could get down on that. Let's take one of those. There's no vehicles that I'm super in love with. We do have, like, a legendary plasma rifle down here. We also have a special version of the AT launcher. What's that pill do? Oh, it makes you take half damage. Yeah, it might be a nice oh shit button if a squad gets isolated and you know they're about to get pounded. Might be kind of helpful. Give me another pack of ammo too, because Sing's gonna need that. I have so much money right now, dude. I'm like sitting on crazy amounts of cash after that campaign. Throw that in, and then Tech is gonna take the armor because I've been wanting to give him an SMG so that he can be a frontline fighter, because so many of his perks and things are like hard charging and expect him to be in the middle of the fray. And so I'm gonna run that for right now. This thing deletes enemies if they're inside of like one tile of you, but any further than that, this gun is useless. And then from there we got promotions to do too. I'll probably promote Tech, so I would like his AP move cost to go down. I'd like Zigzag. I think like Zigzag would be good. Stopping him from being suppressed would be nice too. Damn, I want everything in here. You can have 4 more upgrades. All right, so it's minus 50 to promote him again. Oof. Okay. I'm gonna give him point fire. And then from there, I need to put a little bit of experience on my pilot too, because she's just not hitting stuff lately. So like, I'll probably increase her growth potential. That way she levels up her accuracy faster. I'll probably give her solid grouping. I'll probably give her directed fire. That way I can get a laser designator and I can designate for her, and that'll give her plus 40 accuracy against marked targets, which will be pretty disgusting. And so I feel like that's where we are. Very solid stuff, though. I'm actually really, really happy, A, with both how the mission went, and B, that this game actually lived up to the hype. It lived up to my expectations. I've wanted this game for a really long time. I'm not going to mix words here. I think Overhype is, as a studio, in a fantastic position at the moment to become one of the great development houses in strategy gaming. Everything they make just drips with style, personality, is near universally bug-free and well-designed. Sometimes their games can be inaccessible, but in the case of Menace, it won't take you 100 hours of playing around with it like Battle Brothers did before you get good. This game does have a considerably lessened difficulty curve. It didn't really pick up and get hard and start to feel like an Overhype game until I was about 10 hours into my campaign. That's when it felt like the game was starting to put the boots to me, and it was starting to hit me back, and it was starting to really punish my mistakes with like squad wipes and whatnot. And so this game eases you in a lot better than Battle Brothers does. The sound effects, great, fantastic. Every gun has a different report. Every weapon sounds different. The music design is great, drawing from things like Starship Troopers and Alien. I found the texturing, the animation, they're all done really well, and all of the characters have a solid amount of personality to build on top of from here as the early access moves forward and you learn more about their backgrounds. I do think that the battlefields are really immersive with dust flying everywhere. They absolutely give you kind of a a Michael Mann meets Steven Spielberg vibe when you're on the battlefield and everything's like blowing down around you, buildings are collapsing, you're taking cover and garrisoning and shooting out of windows. It's a fun game, man. It's really easy to get sucked into this title for hours. I played it all day yesterday from the moment I woke up till the moment I went to bed, and I played it all day today too, and enemy variety is solid enough per faction. The randomized battlefields, they mean that every single deployment and every single campaign has its own challenges and like irritations you have to deal with. The loadouts, they've all been useful. I've never seen a gun in this game that I was like, that was completely useless. Like, I think the grenades could probably be buffed a little bit, but not much. Like, the grenades are close, but like, I think the grenades were the only thing so far that's been a little underwhelming. But everything else has been like really, really rad while I've been playing my way through. Menace does a really good job at just being a strategy game that hybridizes ideas from other IPs like XCOM and BattleTech to create something deliciously distinct from most of the other games out there on the market. It's simultaneously almost like a grand strategy XCOM. It's almost like the Long War meets BattleTech. Like, it's very, very hard to put my finger on, but they've got themselves a niche right now, and it's working. I found that the resource management in between deployments is engaging, but the game isn't too stingy. So, like, you never feel broke in this game. The way I'd put it is you have decisions to make, and you can make a number of them each time you come back home with experience and loot, but you can't go hog wild crazy. It's a good balance of working with what you've got and just stretching your forces to fit the engagement that you're currently in, but also the game does give you ample opportunities to stack up new goodies that you can swap out in between missions to solve problems that are given to you inside the briefing. On a technical level, no bugs, no hangs, no crashes, no problems, no popping in the soundtrack. Everything on a technical level seems to be really good here, and all I can say is that I'm excited to see what the studio does with this shockingly badass foundation. As far as things I think the game can do better, like mission balancing is kind of all over the place. Some missions are total meat grinders due to just the procedural level generation not giving you cover, or other problems. Other missions are turkey shoots that you'll breeze through without pushing more than 2 buttons. The skulls don't really mean anything on the mission difficulty estimate. Like, I've seen high skull missions that were a walk in the park. I've seen low skull missions that are absolute team wreckers. I would like to see ranging tools for the guns, since range is so important. Like, you have to adhere to the range on your gun. And so I would like to have some kind of like range finder key that I could hold down that gives me like a digital display of my optimal range and my fall off like actively in the middle of the fight. I'd like to be able to pan the camera down for action shots. I'd like to be able to disable unit barks. There is a voice slider, but that kills all the voice, even like the narrative voice. The game doesn't have overwatches, which is kind of weird, which means that the AI can do some really bold stuff that overwatches would flatly shut down, but it's not really like a deal breaker, because with the way the game's suppression system works, you can kind of force guys to lose turns anyways, and I think that like overwatching might actually slow down the pace of the game and make it less oppressive. The game isn't fully tool-tipped yet, so that's not a thing as of right now. So if you've got like specific questions about what specific things affect other specific things, you're either gonna have to dive deep into the tutorial or you're just gonna have to feel it out as you play. But they'll get that stuff put in as time goes along. But in general, balancing the game, I think is the biggest thing. There are some imbalances here where the game gets kind of wild and crazy from time to time. We're like, wow, how do you counter that? But by and large, most of my impressions here are really solid. In fact, they exceed expectations. It's a great game. It may be contending for like my favorite game of the last year or so. It's quite good. I don't know how much content it is in it for right now, but after 15 hours, I'm just getting started. I can't wait to re-roll and try new things and bring new loadouts and bring new vehicles and see what happens. So I am fully expecting this to be my new strategy obsession going into 2026. My name is Splat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with Menace. Tomorrow to be something else. Sorry if I sounded a little hoarse in this video. I've got COVID right now, and it is whack. I am not having a good time. I'll see y'all later. Time to go take some more Dayquil.